So Marcus, thanks for joining us on the eve of the T20 series. We're here sort of launching the solar panels around cricket and sort of energy and conservation that around cricket's not really discussed, but I guess you're someone that travels a lot, so are you conscious of all that?
Very much so. I think we're aware of the situation with what's going on in the world, but it is a great initiative, obviously something very, very different, and it's very unique to England. We're not seeing it here. It might challenge with the volume of sun we might get over the course of a season, but it is something that's great. I think it's going to make a big difference in in cricket, and I know it does here for the club here. So a good thing to see.
And you're on the eve of the T20 series. You're taking interim charge as the white ball head coach. Just how excited are you? England, Australia always gets the juices flowing, I guess.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And any series you play against Australia, whether that's sort of like white ball cricket or Test matches, they're always brilliant because it just brings that extra little bit of enjoyment and tension to the games. And they're a good side, and they've had some good results in the past, but we're new, fresh, something very different. So looking forward to getting it going. And for me, it's a real dream really to think that you can take over and lead the team, taking them forward.
And Brendan will take over full time in January. Mm-hmm. How excited are you by that appointment? It's clearly worked with the Test side.
Yeah, well, if we get the same sort of process, the way that the Test team has really grown. And see the one-day team sort of progress on the same fashion. That's going to be really exciting, but also it's going to be very productive because we've had some good results in the short space of time. And it's a good thing having somebody of his calibre who can really lead a group really well. Having him there to sort of guide the team in the right place.
And how do you see your role changing now? Brendan's come in on all formats. I know you spoke before the series here and said you see it as a good opportunity to put your case forward, but now Brendan's got the role. How do you see your role changing, really?
Yeah, we're not sure at the moment how it's all going to work. I'm obviously doing this one, and then there's another series in the Caribbean in a few weeks' time. We're waiting to sort of see how it's all going to progress. I know the Test match only finished yesterday, and there's a bit of time that we need to just sort of let things happen. And then as and when they sort of come to us with the ideas and what Brendan's thinking, whether, who's sort of managing it here, because we won't be able to do all of it, or Brendan won't be able to do all the series. We'll then sort of put plans in place after that.
And Phil Salt comes in to captain the side in absence of Josh Butler. What was the thinking behind Phil being captain? Because in the squad you've got Sam Curran, who's captained in the IPL. I was just wondering what the thinking was behind Phil. Yeah,
we had a couple of options. Obviously Phil or Sam. Liam Livingston obviously has also done bits and pieces. I think Josh, having spoken with Josh, he was very keen on Phil. He sees him as a good ally for him when they're out there, as he does with Sam and with Liam as well. But we just thought that it was the best option that Phil was going to take over, given a little bit of experience that he's done. Did a bit in the 100 this year, but we could have given it to probably 2 or 3 different people. Really.
And what's the messaging been to the guys in the squads? I know 3 people are making their debuts tomorrow, but how do you get them to sort of realise that playing for your country, it shouldn't really be pressure, it should really be enjoying it? It's the best time of your life.
Of course, you've got to make the most of these opportunities. You only make one debut, especially in each format, so when you get the opportunity to go out and impress and sort of entertain, really grab it with both hands, because it is something special. And to do it against Australia, as we've already talked about, just adds that little bit of something more. So excited for them. Obviously they've worked so hard getting to this point, and it is just the start of their careers, so all the best to them.
And just a couple more. Mo and Ali obviously announced his retirement last week. Just a couple of words on Mo and the impact he's had.
Yeah, Mo is a superstar. Having him in the group was like having another coach within the team. Just the sort of character he was always very selfless. And just really good to have around. He'd always come up with great ideas, was always level-headed in good days and bad days. Just somebody that you could rely on as a captain, but also as a coach. That's going to bring the team together. He just had that natural ability of working with people, getting along with everybody. It will be a loss, but I've no doubt we'll see him coaching, because he will make a superb coach. That could be a spin coach or even a leader of the teams.
He did speak about going into coaching, which is good. And just finally, away from the ODI dime, there's been a lot of criticism on Ollie Pope. You know him well. Your former captain, Michael Vaughan, said about how you were a really good vice captain, but didn't really fancy the step up to be captain. So do you see that with Ollie, and do you see those leadership credentials with Ollie?
I think some of the criticism he's received has been tough, really. especially around his batting. You know, the series he had against West Indies, he averaged nearly 60 over the course of the 3 Test matches, and suddenly everyone was saying, well, he's in a bad run of form. You know, suddenly for 1 game, 2 games, he hasn't scored his runs. But you know, he got a big 100 in the last Test. Fair enough, we lost, but I think it's so hard to predict. I think, you know, he's been sort of pinpointed as one of the leaders within the group, and we can sort of guide him with Ben there being the main man, that we can sort of educate him and get him to be that leader we want to be. And that takes a bit of time. He's still quite young. That point you make about Michael Vaughan saying I was a good vice captain but not so much the other way around, that sort of changed as I got a bit older. So at this stage you're not expected to be the best captain you can be, but there's definitely attributes there that we want to harness and make better as we go along.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.